The self-regulated woman reset. Now, doesn't that sound fabulous? Today, we have Cheri Petroni, an integrative medicine practitioner and founder of Oasis to Zen Spa, to tell us how to do exactly that. Welcome, Cheri.
Thank you. So happy to be here today.
Yes, it's a beautiful day. Thank you for showing up for us so early. You're coming to us from Las Vegas. So, needless to say, it's pretty early in the morning.
Yeah, well, no, not really for me though. So, yes, I get up early. That's what happens when you're regulated. I get up early because I sleep well.
I love it. Great answer. So, tell us about the self regulated woman.
Okay, so the self-regulated woman who has figured out and become aware of the fact that most likely they're doing things like the rest of the women are doing. We're running around, we're trying to take care of other people. We're usually the high achievers that think, well, we can do one more thing. And, oh, okay, I won't eat until later. Or somebody says, can you fit this in? And you say yes immediately and then regret it. And what happens over time is you're not regulated because underneath it all, the body systems don't work together well. And so it really becomes a physical thing that it's, do I do this? Do I do this? Do I do this? And the body decides from the nervous system. And that's where the reactions and the overwhelming need to just keep going comes from. And it really doesn't have to be that way. And so the first thing we have to do as women is go, oh, maybe I need to take a quick check into my body and what's happening.
Yes.
And that's the beginning of changing some of the things that we're doing that are making us sick, quite honestly.
Yeah, because when you first hear the self-regulated woman, it can easily be confused with the disciplined woman, the high-performing woman, the organized woman, right? It is in fact that disciplined, because that depends on our concept of what does it mean to be disciplined, right? Does that mean meeting obligations when your body's saying no? When your mind is saying no, right? Like I find with women, we're such good creatures, right? That our word is our bond. And sometimes that comes at our very own expense, right? To meet obligations that perhaps are important but not urgent, right? And just because we said it was going to be ready by Monday, come hell or high water, it will be ready for Monday, right? Even if you have a splitting headache, even if, your body is saying no, like you need to rest. So when we say self-regulated, when you say self-regulated, you mean knowing how to check in with your body and knowing your boundaries. Is that correct?
Yes. And knowing to just stop and say, perhaps, instead of yes, which is what the body's just trying to get things done. Really, it becomes this space of reactionary behavior, which is often what we did, especially as children, sometimes because we didn't know what the person was asking us because our brain couldn't fully understand it. And we think we did.
And do you remember as a child, because one of the things, sorry, I'm going to interrupt there because this is too important a point. Because one of the things I love about you, and there are many, but one of them is that you understand childhood trauma. So when we used to tell our kids, and I don't know if young parents are still saying this to your kids, if you are, please, for the love of everything, all mercy on earth, stop. Do you remember being told, eat everything on your plate? What if you were full and no longer hungry?
I work with so many people with exactly that thing. That's one of the things, because I do some nervous system work with people that are overweight, because and then they also often have other medical challenges and so forth. But what really it goes back to is, again, the body systems can't work together when the vagus nerve
Right.
is on alert. And
That's
that's
right.
what happens. So if any of you out there take the time to just lay down or sit back and breathe and just notice, do you have like a buzzing in your body? That means you are not a self-regulated woman. It doesn't mean that you're not strong. It means that you're too strong for your own good. Yes,
Yes.
you're great for everybody else, but we have to step back and actually be, in a sense, the strong person, because when we say yes to everyone, or we do that one more thing, or feel guilty because we didn't go and do the best party ever for this used to be me, by the way, my kids. Every year I had to outdo myself, and by the end I was having 100 people for a party of a kid that's 6 years old who
I
doesn't really
remember
care.
doing I remember doing the same for my son's first
Yeah,
birthday party,
it's
right?
overwhelming to them, really.
And
They
my
don't want that.
ex-husband, but back to the what we've learned, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
my culture, the parties for children are really not for children, they're for the adults. So
Yes.
a first birthday, yes, 50 people, 100 people, and a lot of them, most of them are not children,
Right.
right?
It's a milestone. So in that case, it makes
Correct.
sense, right? All the family comes. By the time they're 5 or 6, though, I'm inviting all of the people I know that have kids, along with their families. And sometimes they bring their other, extended family
Or
because
inviting the
they know that
entire
I know them.
or
Yes.
inviting the entire classroom. To remember those
Yes.
years that
Well, I'm
every
going to
like
tell you an
all
interesting fact
30,
about that.
40 kids, you feel obligated. This is all in like, elementary and even
Well,
middle school.
in the thing in the United States,
Mhm.
is, and I know it's in Utah, because that's where my grandkids are, and I also know it's in Nevada, because I still have friends that are teachers, that you can't invite one person or two people in the class. If you're going to bring an invitation, you have to bring it to the whole class. So they're actually
Wow.
demanding that you do that now.
This is like
And
the participation trophy.
yes, and then what happens is most of them don't come, right? Because they don't really know, like,
They don't
my
know the
granddaughter,
child.
right? And they're not. They've got other things to do. And then
Mhm.
guess what happens to that? I'm going to use my little granddaughter. That little girl.
Mhm.
She goes, "How come only 4 people came?" She was
Oh,
devastated.
wow.
They don't understand that the psychology behind that is completely do what you're told, not what you feel. And this is the perfect example of what happens as we get older
That's
and we
right.
are not regulated,
And our or
because
our
these
concept of
effects,
or our concept of regulation is wrong, right?
following the
We
rules and
lean,
regulations, which is not it at all.
yeah, or we lean on external aids like pills or cure-all kind of concepts for regulation, when really, when done right, which Cheri can show you the way, the errors of your ways, um, is really an internal mechanism, an internal superpower.
Mhm. Yes, and there's some key things that we need to do in order for this to work. It's funny, I'm hearing it more and more that at least it's a trend in my world, and this is going to networking events and stuff, so it's not even in my practice, right? I don't eat enough. Okay, well, there's your first problem right there, is you don't eat enough. And when you do, what do you eat? Now they're not eating enough
Oh.
because they're busy. So they come and get out, first thing out of the gate, they might eat a little something,
Mhm.
they might not.
You know
But
the people, and I've been chubby all my life, and funny because now it's something that it's been my shadow, my constant companion throughout my entire life. And it isn't until now that that chubby face has no wrinkles, or that looks, quite a bit younger than my years, that I've learned to appreciate it, right? So, like, thank you,
Mhm.
chubbiness, for being here with me. But the thing is, I hear often. Sorry, down a bunny trail that is,
Oh no, no.
anyways.
Well,
But you know,
and
when you hear people that say they forget to eat,
mhm.
how do you forget to eat?
I
You
wouldn't
know,
say that
such a
it's that.
foreign concept.
Well, so what I believe that is often, because as I dig deeper with people, I don't just leave it at that. Even when I'm talking to them in a networking group, so they have to really want to talk to me if they get to stick around. But they're usually pretty happy because I go, well, is it that you forgot, or there were so many things that you felt needed to be done?
Hmm.
And then they go, well, yeah, because I couldn't get to da 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 da, and I really didn't want to eat fast food, and I didn't really know, and so I didn't do that. And so the other thing is the types of food, which really does mess with our nervous system, whether we like it or not. And then we grab something that is processed, or sometimes, the sugar, or please don't drink the energy drinks, please.
Oh
You're
no! What,
jacked. Oh,
like
it's so
all
bad.
energy drinks? Is it caffeine or is it the caffeine and sugar combo?
It's all of it. It's just a big container of garbage.
Oh
None of it's
wow!
good for us. All that does is dysregulate the body more. You get that instantaneous boom. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get through that 3, 4 o'clock, whatever. Go, 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 go. And then
Release the
boom.
lions.
And so, well, what happens? That sets your body up for releasing cortisol in the wrong order, which is why we can't sleep at night, and the insulin resistance, because it's putting out insulin, and then there's nothing there that the insulin can be used for processing in the body. So then what happens is it's harder for our body to release the insulin because it's used to going, and there's nothing there to process besides garbage, which goes in other places. I mean, some, and it ends up being fat quite often, even though it might not start out as fat. So it is really an interesting thing that we are, and I used to drink a lot of alcohol. I haven't had alcohol in a long time, but I will tell you that's probably was the beginning of my, what would call metabolic syndrome at one point in time.
Ooh.
Because if you get 3 of these certain 5 things, but the basic premise of that is kind of funny, because they're just not giving you a diagnosis until they can give you medication, the doctors. And it's not
When
that
they
they're trying
classify
to,
it at, is that when they classify it as metabolic syndrome?
is there's yeah, there's 3 of 5 different. Insulin resistance is one, your high cholesterol, I'm trying to think, high cholesterol,
High cortisol
high
must
blood
be
pressure,
yeah.
overweight, and there's one other, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But the ones that most of us have 3. And I may say most of us, but as we get older, we tend to start having things happen, right?
Well, yeah,
And
of course. Our
but even
body's
the
processing.
children,
The biggest challenge, and by the way, I'm not an integrative medicine practitioner as you are, but just from personal experience, right? What I think happens is that you continue with the life you know, but your body has changed. So even though you're doing the same things that you've done all along, your body's not processing them the same way.
so I have a really good analogy that is about the body. So if
Okay.
somebody all of a sudden gets a rash, like they're 35 or 40, and they start getting some sort of, like, I'll use a ring. So like my wedding ring, if it was like a ring that was not, and sometimes people do they're allergic to gold. So
Oh,
it could be that this
I thought
is
they were allergic to marriage, but anyways,
yeah,
that's another
no,
episode.
yeah, well, and that could be as well. And that's a different condition, I guess. But what happens is it's not that your body has changed, but your body has given up. It has
Mm.
adapted to the fact that this has been going on ever since, like for me, we were eating fast food in the 70s when it first started coming out. My mom did not cook. Now, it was healthier than it is now, but the bottom line is I ate mostly fast food and not the foods that I should have been eating growing up for a healthy body. And now it's worse because there's all the other stuff and kids are still eating that way. And what happens as we get older, our bodies can't work anymore. So just like all of a sudden there's that rash because they're eating a particular food, or I see this in skincare where all of a sudden they're breaking out. And what it really is the skin is saying, hello. So the body, and when it's keeping the score, it's going, I need you to do something here. This is a physical reaction to something else. So what happens is our body just, it can't do it forever. So physical conditions that can sometimes have labels and sometimes don't are really showing us that the body is tired and that it needs to have a different way to live. It needs to be able to have some other things. And so it's really screaming at us. Yes. But most of us don't speak body language. I know how to do that, and have.
You want to teach us how? Super excited.
Well,
not today.
It's coming. A bit of a process, and it's better done. I can do it with myself sometimes, but I still sometimes have somebody else go through it with me, just because sometimes then when it's just me, I can tell that this is not where I'm supposed to be, and I'm here instead of where it is, because the body will let us know.
And that's part of being
work. The labs actually do tell us where we're going. So when they go, oh yeah, you're pretty good. Yeah, this isn't so bad. This is a little high. This is a little this, but they're the doctors, that's their job, because they're there to fix the illness. But if they don't, in the United States, they don't have nutrition training. This is being fixed right now. The doctors, yes, the doctors don't. 1 to 2 hours.
We do in Canada. We would need to find out.
So I would love this. I would love to be able to have some doctors that will refer me, and I can do the holistic nutrition piece.
That's right.
And I haven't had the time to go and actually talk to people. I keep meaning to with my doctor, because he does the exact same thing. Oh yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, this is. Oh, look at this. Yeah. And then I look at them myself, and they're not bad, but I'm thinking, no, this could happen here. This is probably what I need. So then I take my own stuff home and I kind of use it for my own.
Your own thing.
Yeah.
So what I like about integrative medicine and what you do and what your message to the world is, and that's why, I'm so proud that you're one of our PwC Global Mentor Experts and part of our WOEFM, panel of experts. That's the World Organization of Energy and Frequency Medicine, is because this is the prequel to needing a doctor. This is the self-regulation. Yes. This is the accountability. This is the responsibility. This is the lifestyle with natural solutions. That's not to say that at some point you may need surgery or you may need medication, like absolutely. But maintaining your body's a spectrum, right? Is the difference between waiting until your car breaks down or doing the proper maintenance so that it doesn't break down.
I feel like a medical doctor is a check. They're doing the checkup and they're checking the basic things for your tune-up, but they're looking to see if there's something wrong. So what happens is in the meantime, they say, see you next time, right? And so the reason I really went into this, because yes, I have a spa, but I really call it an integrative wellness center now, just because we've changed so much.
That's what it is, and you keep upgrading.
Yes,
your knowledge, which is again something that I truly respect.
Yeah, and so what I do is I really connect those dots with the doctors, because I have women that come in all the time, even if they're not my clients. I have renters in there and things, and that are doing massage, but these women end up talking to me as they're leaving and what have you. If someone is feeling off, if they're not enjoying their life, if they can't quite sleep at night, or they just, there's chaos. Because it could be that you eat perfectly well, but you don't eat enough. And there's like 2 or 3 things I would tell you. You would do that, and you might need stress relief. So everybody's different, but this stuff is not going to be discussed in your typical doctor's office visit. They don't have time, number one. They don't have the time. They've got to put so many people in there because our insurance in the United States is not very good. It's gotten worse and worse over the last 10 years.
We're going to have we need to have another episode to understand exactly what gets covered by what. Because in Canada, we're under a different system, right? And it's not necessarily better. Like everything has its good and bad. Trust me. Not everything about our healthcare system is good, right? And not everything's bad either. So we'll have more of that. But I want to go back to the self-regulated woman reset. And you have a gift for our 1 Million Woman Challenge, which is
the Self-Regulated Woman Reset Quiz. So this is going to look at the top 4 things that really, it's usually something with hormones, something with sleep, something with food, or something with your energy, or a combination. So what I've created is a very short quiz. It's only like 12, I think it's 12 questions.
Okay.
And so you opt into the quiz, you do it. You gotta give me your information, of course, so that I can see the information as the quiz as well. And then you get the option to, if you want to really dig a little bit deeper on that quiz and what that means, free of charge and no pressure. I'm not going to be like, oh, and here's my, sign that tells you all about my program. If you're interested, I can tell you I have several options. However, the point is for me to help you have some next steps afterwards by doing this reset clarity call, because
love it.
I will tell you what the doctors don't have the time to do.
Okay. So we'll put the link below, needless to say, and promote it in our upcoming magazine. And of course, Cheri is one of our PWC mentor experts. So she's in all of our books, all of our magazines, all of our podcasts. And I would not make a move without her. So thank you, Cheri, for being so generous and bringing these to our Million Woman Challenge. And thank you, everyone, for staying with us. We are now on Amazon Music, Amazon Podcasts, on Spotify, as well as streaming directly to LinkedIn and Facebook for starters, going bigger. So thank you, everyone, for your support. You're lovely. And until next time.